Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with episode 42 of our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode here in NHL 24, and we are your Stanley Cup champions, baby. Take a look at this run. This was the most dominant playoff run that we have had in the entirety of the franchise mode, so I love that. We beat the Hurricanes in 5 games there at the end of the season. We'll take a look at the awards here. Obviously, we know that we won the Stanley Cup. Montreal won the President's Trophy. Looking at the individual awards, because I don't think that I was able to do this, Matthews wins the Art Ross, the Hart. The James Norris goes to Jimmy Drysdale, who we did not see on Anaheim, so he must have been injured, and I didn't even notice that. I thought he was on another team. That's why I didn't check that out. The Lady Byng goes to Mitch Marner. The Calder goes to somebody from Dallas. Conn Smythe to William Eklund. Look at that, boys. For, 2 times in 3 years, Winnipeg Jets have their names on the Conn Smythe there. Josh Morrissey in 2031, and now William Eklund in 2033. Love it. Scott Carter, who we faced in round 2, wins the Vezina. The Jennings also goes to Scott Carter. Yes, the Bill Masterton to Purcell, Jack Adams to the coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Selke goes to Leon Draisaitl. We're getting some interesting Selke winners in this franchise mode. Ted Lindsay to Austin Matthews and the Maurice Richard. So Matthews cleaned up big time. He won, 1, 2, 3, 4 awards? Yeah, so he really cleaned up on the individual side of things. But boys, in this episode, we are going to be doing the draft and the offseason, and we have some big decisions to make. Last episode, I gave you guys the questions. What do we do with our contract situation? You know, we just won the cup, but there is no rest for the wicked when you're the GM of a cup-winning team. You've got to make decisions who stays and who goes, and boy, do we have some big decisions to make in this one. First off, let's start it off with Alexander, who says, what a run. Wow. Great job to the players, GM, and staff. That was simply amazing. But now begins the tough part in a bid to repeat for the first time ever. So there were very, very difficult choices ahead, but there's about 5 players that have to go for varying reasons in Alex's opinion. So number 1 is going to be, Alex suggests, is Brennan Othmann, and this is a guy we just simply can't keep him. He didn't play in the playoffs. He was playing 4th line time at $2.5 million. We don't have the cap luxury to keep that this season, so I think that guy, he's probably going to be going. Next, Philip Tomasino, same type of thing. We don't have the money to keep him. He's asking for way too much, and after a great playoff run, he deserves to go get paid somewhere else. Third on the list, now this is where things start to get a little tough here, is going to be Jesper Wallstedt. Wallstedt has won 2 cups with us in how many years has he been with us? 4 years or something like that? 1, 2, 3, 4 years. He's won 2 cups in 2031 and in 2033. He's been a great goalie. He played 70 games this year. He could have been in the race for the Conn Smythe as well with a .915 save percentage and 2.81 goals against, which in the EA world, those are stellar numbers. He's had multiple 40-win seasons with us. He's been a fantastic goalie all around, but making $6.5 million as an 84 overall, that might simply be a little bit too much for, especially for a goalie who's a little, good and bad. Sometimes he has great games, sometimes he has horrible ones, so we need consistency behind the net, and we need cheap goalies back there as well, so Jesper Wallstedt might have to go. Next up on the list is Taru Karlathy. He was one of the first people I ever gave a nickname to, the Targaryen Taru Karlathy. He was undrafted. We signed him in free agency 1 year just off a whim. I just saw his name, and I said, oh, that name looks great. He turns out to be an 81 overall. He has low elite potential, and he's only 24 years old, but his role is top 4 defenseman, and he wants to be paid like it. Look at this, $6.5 million for the next year. If we go 2 years, it ups to $7 million, 3 years, 7.5, 4 years, almost $8 million. When you get to 8 years, he wants $10 million. So on the one hand, maybe he's going to grow a lot, but on the other hand, look at our defensive core already. Will Hoffman, Corbin Mills, Owen Power, Aiden Stempniak. We do not have room for a guy like Taru Karlathy in our top 6. Sorry, I meant in our top 4 defensemen. So basically, we're gonna have to try to find a cheap free agency replacement to replace him. But again, free agency is a whole other thing of its own. What does Matthias Havlid want? He still wants big money too. So we really got to try to find somebody who wants cheap money for these 2 guys down here. And then the big question of Alex's comment, is it time to move on from Cole Perfetti? Now, let's take a look at this. He's 31, he's still in his prime for this season, but he's been relegated to our second line center, and he's making $9.6 million for the next 3 years. Now, that's still a decent contract. He can still get it done. Look at what he did this year on the second line, not playing first line time. He was still above point per game, so he can get it done wherever he goes. That's 4 straight seasons of above point per game status. Only +5 this year, but he wasn't playing on the first line with some real killers out there. He was only playing second line time. Now, he can still get it done, but is it time for us to move on from him in favor of a guy like Sam Kennedy, basically? We would be moving Cole Perfetti, getting rid of $9.6 million in the hopes that we could sign Sam Kennedy for something like, 8 by 12.5 or something along those lines, something fairly similar to what we have Matt Svensson signed for, even though he has dropped an overall now for some reason, which I despise. But hey, that's how EA is going to play the game, even though we just won the Stanley Cup. Whatever, it's fine. So a guy like Cole Perfetti making $9.6 million, he could really help out another team, and he only scored 3 goals in the playoffs. Now, granted, 23 points, but still, 3 goals for a sniper is a little on the shorter side. Now, he was partnered with Elliot Patrick on that second line, so maybe that had something to do with it. But as a 3-time Stanley Cup winner with, full of intangibles and things like this, he would have great value in the eyes of a team looking to take that next step. Maybe a younger team with some younger pieces where Cole Perfetti can be more of a mentor to them. He's been great here, but it might be time for us to move on from him. Now, if we were moving on from Captain Cole Perfetti, what would we be doing? And Alex has a great comment here. A big time trade. Trading away maybe Cole Perfetti and the Targaryen Tero Karlathy to a team that needs a top 6 center or a top 6 forward. Even he can play the wing, he showed this year. And, a top 4 defenseman as well for either picks or an NHL ready forward. And that could be something pretty interesting. In EA world, it's very difficult to get value back. Like, if I traded Cole Perfetti, there's probably no way I would get 2 firsts for him because he's only 88 overall. Probably the only way you're going to do that is if you have like a 92, 93, right? So you can either get barely a first for an 88 level player, or you can get like 5 firsts for like a guy like Connor McDavid. There's really no in between. So probably the trade will not look that fair in the eyes of the game. We might not be able to get 2 firsts for a guy like Cole Perfetti, and more than likely somebody that we pick with our first round pick will not grow to be a Cole Perfetti type of player. But we've seen success in the later rounds as well. Look at guys like Matt Svensson, drafted in the 5th round by us. Look at Eric Dowd. He's not Cole Perfetti, but drafted in the 6th round. He's still young. He could still grow. A guy like Elliot Patrick, he was drafted in the 1st round, I guess, but you know what I mean? Like, we have had success in 1st rounds, in 5th rounds. Sam Kennedy was drafted in the 1st round. Granted, he was drafted 2nd overall, but you guys know what I'm saying? It's possible, but it's pretty unlikely that we're going to get the same value back for Cole Perfetti. Now, Alex's second point about the moves that we have to make is that the GM will have to be nimble on his feet and find at least another NHL forward, or via the draft or trade, free agency, something like that, who's close to league minimum for that 3rd line. And same thing for that 4th line is basically I'm going to need league minimum guys to come in here and just be a role player, fill a spot in the lineup, and try not to mess up too badly, basically. Then, number 3, signing Aiden Stempniak at $7.5 million for 8 years is not a bad contract. He's a first-line defenseman, and D-men, they're not getting any cheaper anytime soon now. He can probably grow to be 86 plus, and he's a great top pairing, and 2-time Stanley Cup champions with Corbin Mills on his right-hand side. So Stempniak, I'm down to keep him for as long as he'll allow himself to be here. If he doesn't want an 8-year contract and he wants 20 mil for 8 years, not going to happen, obviously. But if he'll take a reasonable 7.5, 6 mil, you want to take a discount, I won't complain about it. And the other things I'll let you guys read there, but just going over them quickly is, Sam Kennedy being qualified and then trying to get him around the $11-12 million mark for 8 years. That would be nice. And if we can't get that 1-year deal and then try to sign him to an extension later on. And looking for the goalies, just super cheap goalies. We don't need anything special. We just need cheap goalies because we don't have cap space once again, boys. So we're going to go to the draft here. No more dilly-dallying. Let's look at the draft lottery results. And actually, oh my goodness, I forgot to show you guys this. The draft lottery is huge because Minnesota is going to get their hands on a franchise level player. That's right. I completely forgot to take a look in the last one. I forgot to show you guys, but there's a franchise player going 1st overall. So, we're not going to... No team would want 31-year-old Cole Perfetti for a franchise player. Don't get it twisted. I could probably trade Cole Perfetti, Tero Karlathy, and a 1st-round pick for a franchise player. Or, even better, I could probably trade Sam Kennedy and Taro Karlathy and a first round pick for a franchise player. That's not happening. We're not cheesing the system like that. Don't be ridiculous. No team would want to do that. So Minnesota gets their hands on a franchise player. Everybody else there, you see the teams that move. Washington is going to get an elite level player and things like that. Retired players. Do our old friends call it a career? Let's see. Connor McDavid, he scored 1,800 points in 1,300 games, almost 1,400 games, an absolutely stellar career from him. He's still 89 overall. He could still go, but he got a cup with Edmonton, and he's living large now. Next up, Nathan MacKinnon at 37 years old, 1,700 points in 1,500 games. He retires as a 74 overall. This guy just loves hockey, man. He scored 47 goals in the AHL. He doesn't care where he's playing. He's just going to rip them past the goalie. Leon Draisaitl in Pittsburgh, he won the Selke and then pieced out with them, 1,700 points in 1,400 games played. Nikita Kucherov here with the Lightning played his last season. Jeff Skinner had 1,200 points in 1,700 games. Crazy stuff out here. He's 41 years old. Jack Eichel with Vegas pieces out. So the first overall pick and the second overall pick in 2015 both go out in the same year. And what better do that? And also the 17th overall pick and former Winnipeg Jet Kyle Connor. He's 85 overall. He could still score. He had 30 goals in his last ever season. He played 15 and a half years or so with us. We don't have to go through all the numbers again. We've already seen them and said them many, many times when we did trades and things like that. But just to say, this guy's an absolute Winnipeg Jets legend. I mean, later on in his career, he was a power play merchant maybe, but boy, this guy really tore it up for us many, many years in a row, and we love him here. His jersey probably going to be going up in the rafters if we play Carolina this year. Let me just say that, boys. Then Elias Lindholm, William Nylander with San Jose. He spent all of his career with Toronto before he signed that huge deal with San Jose in free agency here. And he goes to them and he finished his career with them as well. Then Sam Reinhart, Dylan Larkin, who won a Conn Smythe a couple of years ago. He goes out at the age of 36. Jake Gensel, current Tampa Bay Lightning, goes out. Timo Meier, Pavel Buchnevich. So a lot of Edmonton Oilers here. Edmonton hopefully will be a little easier to play now. Timo Meier is gone. Sam Reinhart is gone. And Connor McDavid is gone as well. So... and Pavel Buchnevich is also gone, so, you know, a lot of Edmonton Oilers there signing off. Rupe Hintz is gone in Dallas despite still being a 90 overall. Oh my god, okay, so Dallas gets a little easier to play, hopefully. That's kind of nice to see. Daniel Sprong, the 87 overall Daniel Sprong, who was tearing it up against us. He had like 4 goals in 3 games or something crazy like that in the playoffs against us. Oh, there he is. Former captain of the Winnipeg Jets, Josh Morrissey, 79 overall. We move on from him. We move on from Kyle Connor, and we go out and get ourselves a cup. But look at this. Still 25 points in his last season. He was just riding it out, getting a little bit of money. How much is he making? $6 million. Respect to Josh Morrissey. Thank you for everything you did here, my friend. And also, former Winnipeg Jet legend here, Trevor Moore goes out. I believe we won a Stanley Cup with him. We traded him at the draft here in 2028, and we won the Stanley Cup that year, I think. And Trevor Moore had a pretty big hand to play, 20 points in 26 games. We love this guy. He was an amazing second, third line type guy who we could fit into the lineup. He goes out as well. And looking at the goalies now, oh my gosh, Vasilevsky goes out. 999 games. They couldn't play him one more game so he can play 1,000? Come on, man. That's got to be a record, right? 1,000 games played as a goaltender? That must be a record. Oh my god, congratulations to him. 561 wins. That could be a record as well. 328 losses, 54 shutouts, 912 save percentage, and 2.79 goals against average in EA World. That's insane. 34 points. I don't know if that's a lot or a little for a goalie, but it seems like a lot. Aiden Hill with Montreal, so the Montreal legacy might be crumbling a little bit without an amazing simulating Aiden Hill in their nets. We'll take it. Jonas Korpisalo, Capo Kakinen, Connor Ingram, Felix Sandstrom, Eric Shalgren, and Jackson Stauber. Okay, fair enough. Congratulations to all of them. What a stacked retirement class, by the way. Absolutely stacked. Jack Eichel, Connor McDavid, Kyle Connor, Josh Morrissey, you know, insanely stacked draft class. So love to see that. And now, speaking of drafts, it is time for the 2033 draft. Let me just show you who Minnesota's about to get their hands on here. Rene Devereaux, okay, two-way forward, 18 years old, 6'4" right winger. 6'4", medium franchise right winger. Does it get any better than that? He's big. He has the potential. He's going to have the overall. He has an X factor as well, maybe. So Minnesota, they're going to get their hands on an absolute stud out here. and let's enter the 2033 draft class and see exactly who they get their hands on here. We'll go through the first 5 picks because I can't simulate, or I can't move up into them. It's just not realistic. Rene Devro goes to the Minnesota Wild. We're going to be seeing this guy a lot. He can skate. That's a first for EA prospects, let me tell you. He's physical, he has good defense, good senses, good puck skills, all this stuff. Congratulations, Rene, the first overall pick here. Washington now, the second pick. They're going to pick up a sniper, 5-star shooting for him. Yes, he does. Okay, Jimmy Scuderi. We got to keep our eyes on him. Could be good. Philadelphia get themselves a two-way forward medium elite. Here's what he looks like. Pretty base everywhere, good skater. Nice. For the Tampa Bay Lightning, his name is Junior Callahan. This has got to be Ryan Callahan's son. It has to be. I know Ryan Callahan's probably like 60 in this universe right now, but his name is Junior Callahan. Come on, it doesn't get much better than that. They're writing it for us. Good passing, good, decent puck skills. A little bit weaker on that physical category, but that's okay. Still got time to grow and lift those weights and things like that. And then Mick Tagart for San Jose. San Jose just can't seem to get out of the basement of the league, huh? So tough scenes there. Looking at the draft class, I'll show you guys who I'm interested in, and it's really nothing insane. Well, I mean, the player is pretty good. It's not this medium elite offensive defenseman. He's 4 years away, so it's not going to be him. It's not this defensive defenseman. He's 4 years away. It's actually a low elite two-way forward, Brennan Meach, 6'5", left wing. Look at this, only 1 year away. He has a pro release, size and skill, size and strength, no downsides, and only 1 year away. I think this guy could be a steal for us at 26. So I'm debating. Option 1 is trading Cole Perfetti and Tero Karlathy to a team like in the early 20s and then trying to get a first-round pick next year as well. And option 2 is just trading our first-round pick basically for this one and Tero Karlathy, and then trading Cole Perfetti for some picks for next year. So I'll see you guys when I made my decision. But yeah, I'll see you guys there. Okay, boys, let's see if this works. It probably won't. Like I said before in my earlier monologue about Cole Perfetti's trade value, this is probably not going to work. But 2 first-round picks from Boston. Now, why does Boston want a guy like Cole Perfetti? Well, let's take a look here, okay? Forwards, they've got Alvestead. He's on they need to sign Alvestead, okay? They've got Kent Johnson here who can play center, but he's more of a left. Well, actually, can he play at the center? How good is his face-off? Hang on. Okay, Kent Johnson actually has good face-offs. 1 second. Maybe I'm talking myself out of this already. They also have Matthew Poitras, so that's 2 good centers. But then after that, they need to sign all these guys. So Cole Perfetti would become their second best player who can play with Alvestad. Alvestad is a two-way forward who, assists more than he passes. So it'd be nice to get Perfetti with him. Now, they may have some cap trouble, though, which is unfortunate because, oh, man, yeah, they might have some cap trouble. Now, they could have Perfetti. They could have the deepest center core in the NHL, though, with Perfetti, Johnson, and Poitras, and then Alvestad on Perfetti's right, or Alvestad on Johnson's right, or something like that, but they don't have anybody else really signed for that long. This guy, Sapovaliv, could be good for a couple of years. Other than that, I mean, they just signed David Pastrnak to an $8.775 million extension for the next 2 years. Maybe this isn't the team, boys. All right, but here's my dilemma. Nobody else wants to trade any of their picks, right? And nobody until Arizona wants to trade. Now, am I going to trade Cole Perfetti to Arizona? Do you guys think I'm that dumb? I mean, look what happened when we traded Kyle Connor and Nikolai Ehlers to Carolina. They almost came back and bit us, right, in the Stanley Cup Finals. So trading these guys to the Western Conference, I mean, that's just a recipe for disaster, surely, right? Now, maybe Pittsburgh would want to trade, but they're a bad team. Like, they probably don't want to trade. They're a conservative buyer, actually. But they just lost Leon Draisaitl. Hang on. Yeah, Cole Perfetti would instantly become their best centerman, tied for their best forward. They have to sign this guy. And they do have a lot of money in Joe Veleno and Igor Sharangovich, but that's kind of it, really. Everybody else doesn't have that much money. $10 million coming off the block for Joel Eriksson Ek. What about for defense now? Defense, they have no one, so Tero Karlathy could be great here. Maybe Pittsburgh's the team. Now, they're the 8th overall pick, right? So a guy like Cole Perfetti, it's not enough. It's not enough. Even just for the 8th overall pick, it's not enough. So they would also want Karlathy. Karlathy has barely any value also. But could we get a first next year as well? I would love if we could get a first next year. We probably can't. But what do you say, Pittsburgh here? And I'm okay with getting the 8th overall pick because we're going to have You know, we're getting a guy who's 1 year away. I'm okay with reaching for him. I don't really care about that. But what do you say, Pittsburgh? 2 firsts for Cole Perfetti and Teo Karlathy. You've done all right meeting the block needs, but the value is not sufficient at all. I kind of figured that was going to be the case. So what if we trade you our second? We move up our second for a first, huh? What about this? Cole Perfetti, Teo Karlathy, and a second for a first next year and a first this year. Now what do you say, Pittsburgh? Rejected. Sweeten the value just a touch. Okay, I can do that. So here's the next thing we're going to do. We're going to throw in Alex Hatcher. Hatcher, he's only 23 and he's a 72 overall, but honestly, in 2 years, is he really going to grow 8 overall to get to an 80? Now, he's a right defenseman, which is good. He was drafted with the 7th overall pick, but I wonder if we can send in Alex Hatcher their way and then try to get a 7th for this year, because there's a special surprise. They don't have a 7th this year. Okay, what about a 7th next year? Maybe I can just trade it back, whatever. It doesn't matter. What do you say to this now, Pittsburgh? Cole Perfetti, Teo Karlathy, a second, and Alex Hatcher for 2 firsts and a second. Cole Perfetti, did I already give him his eulogy? I don't know. This guy's been with us since he was 18 years old. At one time, he was looking a bit like a bust, I'm not going to lie. We signed him to a big contract basically in the first year, and he wasn't really coming through, but eventually we put him on that first line. He booms. 95 points, 87 points, 97 points, down to 83, but this guy is a legend. We love him here in Winnipeg. What do you say to this trade? Pittsburgh, sweeten just a touch. Okay, so we take out the 7th and it's going to go through, right? What do you say? Trade accepted. So a blockbuster deal here with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and we pick up the 8th overall selection. I didn't even realize we were at the 8th pick either. And the reason I take the 8th overall pick is not because I want to pick up the guy who's at 8. This guy, top 4 defenseman, 2 years away, could be great. But look at all these guys, man. 2 years away, 2 years away, 3 years away, some of them, 4 years away. You know, all these guys, no, I'm not interested in that. I will reach. I don't care. I'll reach for Brendan Meach. I'll reach for Meach. Okay, left winger, QMJHL, 1 year away. Should I try to trade down, or is that just going to bite me, man? Is that going to bite me? Okay, fine, I'll try. All right, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to trade Pittsburgh's first-round pick to Arizona for their 22nd and a third. I pick around the 86 mark. And there's a very specific reason why I'm doing this, because I want somebody there. Can I get a 7th as well? What do you say, Arizona? You're moving up 12 spots in the first round. There were trades at this draft where you had to trade like a first and a second, I think, like in the real world. I think it was like a first and a second for a first. So a first, a third, and a 7th, I think it's more than fair. What do you say? Accepted. Oh my God. Okay, they actually accepted it. That's a surprise. I definitely didn't think they were going to do that. So we will take that. We actually got value from a trade down. It's a historic day in EA world, I will tell you that. So we'll simulate our pick. Our guy, don't think he went here, medium, elite, offensive defenseman. We knew about all these guys. We just didn't want to take them. We want to take guys who are NHL ready right now. So who did Arizona take with the pick? Medium, top 4 defenseman, 70 overall. Yeah, that's a good pick. That is a good pick for sure. But it's not going to be better than this one, because we're going to take from the QMJHL Brennan Meach, 2-way forward, left winger, 6'5", the monster, Meach the monster. Here he is, 72 overall, low elite. He'll play in the LH or the QMJHL for a couple more seasons, but this guy, he's going to be ready. Hopefully he's physical, he's big, he's bad, he's Brennan Meach. Thank you very much. Next pick's at 32, and we're going to trade it down again. What do you say, New York? I'm going to trade you the 32nd overall selection, and I want to get the 41st and the 73rd. What do you say to this? Rejected. Sweeten the value just a touch. Okay. Can I trade you a 7th that I picked up in the... did I pick up a 7th in... Yeah, I did. I picked up a 7th in one of these in the Arizona pick. So I'll give you the 7th from the Arizona pick, and now you will accept the trade. There we go. Okay. I like that a lot for us, because we are getting more picks in this draft. There's a couple of moves that I want to make. So simulating to pick 41... The reason why I do not want this trade, whatever it is, okay, it didn't even come through anyways. So you're going to see some medium top 4 players, medium top 9. Most of these guys are going to be medium top 9, low elite player here. That's fine. Didn't really care about them. The rest of the first round, we will see medium top 6 guys. Then it goes to the medium top 9 forwards, medium top 6 defensemen. Okay, nobody really that interesting. This guy, yeah, maybe pretty interesting. Conklin, sniper, low elite. I don't think I knew too much about this guy, but either way, that's okay. We're going to take our guys here. Conklin would have been a nice pick, I'm not going to lie, but I didn't really see him. So, there's a couple of guys. We can go for Isaiah Siffers, or we can go for Jordan Clements, or we can go for Stefan Schonard. Okay, so Do we want the two-way forward, the two-way defenseman, or the defensive defenseman? We just picked up a two-way forward as our first round pick, so I think I want to go with Jordan Clements here. We could also go with Amir Maroon, but he's a center sniper. We already have a center sniper in Elliot Patrick and guys like that. So I'm gonna go Jordan Clements here, left defenseman, 6'3". He's gonna take 3 years to get ready, but he's probably in that like mid 60s, medium top four defenseman. Let's see if he can grow at all. Yeah, 64, medium top four defenseman. Basically exactly what I was thinking of. And our next pick is 79. All right, so let's just simulate to our next pick. And now we're just going to start taking guys, no more trading down, none of this nonsense here. We're just going to take with our pick here. I mean, you guys get to see all the other picks that I want to make here, but pick number 92 from the OHL, the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, Michael Pojar. He's from Canada. He's 6 foot tall, right wing, playmaker, medium elite, 5 years away, but he's only 18 years old, medium elite. We've seen people like this blossom big time here. So Michael, welcome to the team. 49 overall, medium elite, perfect. All right, I'm going to trade our 86th pick for 106 and maybe see if I can get a 6th rounder for it as well. I can't. Can I get a 7th? If not, I've just wasted 30 seconds of my life for no reason. Let me see, Vegas. No, I can't. Okay. So this is why I didn't want to make any trades with the picks, boys. I'm just going to make my moves when I make them. So pick number 86 here. Who are we going to select? Well, it's pretty easy. I'm going to be looking at potential guys pretty much only here. I could be taking goalies and things like that, but we have a couple of goalies in the system. We could always take this guy, Oli Kuta, at 200, right? So there's a lot of guys we can go for, but somebody who is not a goalie, but who is medium elite is Orlando Mears from the WHL, the Prince George Cougars. He's 20 years old, 6'3", defensive defenseman. Welcome to the Winnipeg Jets organization. Orlando, you are 54 overall at 20 years old. Probably won't be anything, but again, that's a lot of trade value coming into the team. Next pick at 128, we're going to be taking from Finland, Oli Kuta, the goaltender. He's 5 years away, but he's got B- athletic. He's 6'3", 19 years of age. Welcome, Oli, to the Winnipeg Jets organization. You are 60 overall. Oh, that's actually not bad. Not bad at all. Oli Kuta, 60 overall, medium elite goalie. We will take that. Now, next pick is 141, and with it, we are going to be taking from the SHL, Torsten Johansson. He's a low elite player, 5 years away, 6'1", right winger, playmaker. Welcome to the team. You are 50 overall. Love to see it. With our next pick here, the Winnipeg Jets select at number 150, Quincy Sawchuk, a low elite playmaker, 5'11", but still 5 years away, low elite. Let's see what overall you are. 50 overall for Quincy Sawchuk, low elite player. And with the 192nd pick of the draft, the Winnipeg Jets are proud to select from the USA Central, the right defenseman, 6'4", weighing in at 223 pounds, the 20-year-old Quinton Crawford, a low elite player. Let's see what his overall is. Probably 51 is my guess. My guess is 51. Will you have your bets on? 51, 51, 51. He is 55 overall. Okay, so we've got Quinton and Quincy on the roster here, and the last pick is somebody very special, man. I mean, probably's got somebody in the organization for me to be doing this, but we've got him pinned. We like what he's looking like. He is supposed to go 858th overall. Our scouts, they're looking at him, they're thinking, I see something in this kid. He's 20, he's an overager. He only had 10 points in an E league, but for some reason I think this kid could be something. That's what our scouts are saying to me, and I'm looking at them like they've got 6 heads. I don't know what the heck they're talking about, but he's a big kid, and you know what they say, if you're tall you can make the NHL, right? 20 years old, 6'5", 216 pounds. Welcome to the team. Supposed to go 858. He's a low 70. Okay, yeah. And that's why we don't take risks on 3 stars, right? We don't take risk on 3-bar low elite players. Okay, so that's the end of that draft. Very eventful, obviously. Our captain, was it a lot of picks too? The most picks we've had in quite a long time. We really refilled that prospect pool. But our captain, he won a cup with us, 3 cups with us actually, and man, tough to see him go. But we still love him. We still respect everything he did here, and when he retires, his jersey might be up in those rafters, right? So I got to re-sign the coaches and the scouts. Can't forget to do that like I did last year. So we need our NHL head coach back on. Let me tell you that right now. Clifford Eddy, this guy went crazy with us. So Clifford the Big Red Goof, take your $10 million for 4 years. Hopefully you will come back with us. Now I got to do the scouts. All right, now the moment we've all been waiting for. What do Sam Kennedy and Aiden Stempniak want for contracts here? First off, Philip Tomasino, he wants to come back. What's your extension for? Look at Philip. Go get your money, bro. Thank you so much for everything you did with us. Go get your money in free agency. We'll release you. Thank you so much for the... I think he also got 3 rings with us, so thank you very much. Hope you enjoy the new jewelry on your finger. Okay, now, Sam Kennedy, what do you want? Offer the contract. Come on, give me like 12 mil, bro. 12 mil, I'll take it to the bank. Oh, I love this man. 7 years, $12.55 million. We have 27 mil to spend. Aiden Stempniak, be reasonable. 8 years, 7.5. 8 years, 7 mil. What do you want, Aiden? Come on, Aiden. Come on. Oh my god, we're in the bag. We've got this, boys. I was stressing. I was like, I don't think we have the money to sign all these guys. I don't know what to do, blah, 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 blah. Shut the heck up. These boys pull through. They want to be in Winnipeg, all right? They may not be Winnipeg born. They might not even be Canadian, although I think Stempniak is, right? Yeah, Stempniak's Canadian. I think Sam Kennedy might be American. Is he American? No, he's Canadian. These Canadian boys, of course. How could I ever doubt? The Canadian boys, they've brought pride to their country. Maybe they're not from Winnipeg, small province or small city, you know. Manitoba, not really known for its hockey players, but they're Canadian and they bleed that white blood, all right? And they're at wait, that sounds hang on. I didn't mean it like that, boys. I just meant snow. All right, Canada's got a lot of snow, 40 inches of snow, you know, whatever. I didn't mean to get, you know, race involved in it. I didn't mean oh, I should just shut up. Okay, here we go. 8 years, $12.5 million for Sam Kennedy. I would like that. But can we lowball him? You know, that's kind of the story we've been having. 8 years, 12 mil. We'll see what he says to it. I don't know if he's going to accept it or not, but that would make him, he would be making less than Svensson. And then Aiden Stempniak. I'm such an idiot, dude. I am such an idiot. Okay, 8 years, 7.25 mil for Aiden Stempniak. We'll give him 8 years, 7 mil for Aiden Stempniak. See what he says to it. And anybody else who's expiring. Oh, also, by the way, completely forgot. By the way, we've still got like $6.5 million of cap for Jesper Wallstedt that we haven't moved out. Forgot about him, but hey, that's fine. Okay, let's I guess we'll re-sign Thomas Milic. He's been in the roster for his entire life, so we'll sign him again. Why not? And then we'll also sign Canzanello. Might as well. Entry-level deal, medium elite goalie. We've got 4 medium elite goalies now. This guy, Torsten Gunderson, is 70 overall. Clifford Riley is 68 overall. Look at my brain is remembering all these names, bro. Canzanello and Olikuta still in the system here. So we'll have a 3-man rotation, I guess, in the AHL between Gunderson, Riley, and Canzanello. Although it'll probably only be 2-man, and the guy who's the lowest overall will be kicked out because I can't be bothered to change the AHL goalies. So goalies are done. Now looking at the rest of the skaters, everybody who's expiring. So Wyatt Johnston, I want to bring Wyatt Johnston back. We have the money to do it now. So let's see, Wyatt. What do you want? 2 years? You want 2 years? 2.825 mil? That's probably pretty good. 2 years, 2.65 mil. Take the same contract that you were having before. Havlik does not want to come back, and he probably wants a boatload of money. Yeah, so Havlik can probably walk. Bryce McConnell Barker wants to come back, but it's overall dropped. But he wants like league minimum, man. Maybe we bring back Bryce McConnell Barker. I don't know. Okay, but somebody we're definitely bringing onto the team is this guy, Quenneville. Howard Quenneville, sniper, right winger. He had, 53 points in 49 games played in the SHL or Liga or wherever he was. So good for him. He had a good season. He's definitely getting his ELC right now. He's 21 years old. He can probably play in the NHL this year. So let's hope that he gets a little bit of growth, maybe 78, 79 overall. But even if he stays at 77, I mean, we've seen what guys can do. You know, the Eric Dowds, Rocky Bomics of the world playing well in the NHL. So we're not going to give up on him just because he has an overall saying he's a 76, he's supposed to play in the AHL. If he plays well in the NHL, might as well keep him up there, right? Same thing here with Solomon Pyatt. He was a sniper as well, right winger, 20 years old, medium elite. Hasn't grown too much, but we'll give him his ELC. Same thing with Jesus Elliott, of course. We had to sign this guy because of his name. I remember him now. We'll sign him onto the roster. League minimum, sure. And then all these other guys, low bottom sixes. These are all guys that we drafted that didn't quite work out. Actually, no, we didn't draft these guys. What am I saying? Okay, so we have no affiliation to these guys. Bye. Bye. Lacosta, see you later. I'm not worrying about any of the AHL teams right now, man. I'm not worrying about any of them. Now, if these guys want a two-way deals, I'll be willing to sign them because they're 78 overalls. They can play in the NHL if they absolutely have to, right? So Tyson Hines, he wants a one-way deal. I can probably get him in free agency for that. So Tyson, you're out, but we do know that he can work on this team, right? Remember from his last year when he was with us, he played all right on that third pair. So Bryce McConnell-Barker now does not want a two-way deal. We might have to let Bryce McConnell-Barker go, although we have cap space now because we took out Cole Perfetti. We do have some cap space. Do we want to give it to a guy like Mark Stone? Definitely not. Not at that money. See you later, Mark Stone. Thank you for the ring. Peace out. That's your second ring of your career at the very least, if you haven't got one in the simulation that I haven't noticed. So we've got a lot of cap space. Let's see what everybody says. I will leave Havlid and actually no, Havlid, you're gone, bro. You are gone. Actually, wait, what's our defense look like? Hang on. So for defense, we have Hoffman, Mills, Power, Stempniak, Kreitzer, and then, yeah, just another left-handed guy in free agency. No worries. We could even sign Boris Nikulin, perhaps, for... He's right. Nah, he's righty. He's defensive defenseman. He could go well with Kreitzer, I guess. Kreitzer a little more offensive. Maybe it could work. We'll see if Nikulin grows in the offseason. Havlid, peace out. You're gone. You're not making $4 million on my third line. No, thank you. All right, so now we will advance a day and see what these guys are saying about their contracts. Wyatt Johnston, going to reject the offer. I'm not content with the amount of minutes I played last season. If you want to play third line minutes, that's fair enough. Jesus is on board. Sam Kennedy rejects. Okay, that's okay. You know, we lowballed him a little bit. Oh, Aiden Stempniak, 8 years, $7 million for Aiden Stempniak, signed on board with Corbin Mills to be our top pair for the next 8 years. Thank you very much, or at least for the next 4 or so, while Corbin Mills is still on his amazingly team-friendly deal, so we will take that. So, Sam Kennedy, 8 years. You want 12.9 for 8 years. I'll give you 12.5. No messing around. 8 years, 12.5. Sam Kennedy. What do you say, big boy? Clifford Eddy. To be honest, I'm not entirely thrilled with the role you offered me. I offered you head coach, but I'm not entirely thrilled with the role you offered me. I want to be the GM of the team. Well, too bad. That's my position, buddy. But I accept your offer. Yeah, you better accept, you jerk. Okay, Sam Kennedy, 12.5. Easy decision. See, we didn't want to do all this hardball negotiations. Yeah, maybe I could have got him 12.4, 12.3, 12.2. Just keep going up and up and up. But you know what? We're sick and tired of that. He is sick and tired of having to deal with that as well. We have $9 million to spend in free agency. Hang on, I do want to sign Wyatt Johnston, though. We'll give him what he wants. Give him a 25K more than what you want. Call it a little signing bonus for being our fourth-line center, huh, Wyatt? And then Bryce McConnell-Barker will probably be gone. All right, Bryce, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to send you out to free agency and release you, but if we can't find anybody, you are the first guy in line to come back, all right? I promise you that. So, all expiring. The only guys that we have to sign left is Wyatt Johnston. We give him a little 25K signing bonus. Come on board, Wyatt. We know you want it. Wyatt, don't toy with me, Wyatt. Don't toy with me. You don't know what I'm capable of. I'm crazy. You don't know what I'm capable of. 1 year, 2.9 mil. What do you say, buddy? Let's run it back one more time. Let's get you another cup. You've won, I think, 2 with us. Come on board. 1 year, 2.9K. Wyatt Johnston. Easy decision. Thank you, Wyatt. Thank you for an 82 overall fourth liner. He plays fourth line, but he also plays penalty kill. He can slide on the power play if we have injuries, things like that. So all good here, boys. Advance a couple of days, and we are going to free agency now. Our assistant coach is no longer on board. That's okay. Oh, free agency, and what do we need? Let me count. Let me do my mathematics. This is very advanced mathematics, so try to keep up with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with Othman, but remember, Othman's going to get traded, so we're still at 7. And remember, keep that in your brain, boys. I know it's hard. 7 and 8. I know it's hard. So, 7. Then Rocky Bomek is 8. Quenville is 9, maybe. So we need like 3 guys. That feels wrong. But I guess we did trade Cole Perfetti and guys like that, so okay. Fair enough. Now, what are our lines going to be? Probably Eklund, Kennedy, Svensson, Patrick, Dowd. Ooh, who's going to be our I guess I was probably supposed to bring somebody in with the Pinto or with the Perfetti trade, huh? Well, that didn't happen. Yeah, it might be a little oversight on my part. But hey, look, now we have $7 million to spend. We're going to fill some holes with some roster players. Don't worry, boys. It's all under... Maybe Pinto gets a little bit of a little boost in the lineup. No, he can't get a boost. Okay, but we'll go Patrick and Dowd. They're a tandem for the future. I mean, our top 6 still looks good. Eklund, Kennedy, Svensson, Patrick, Dowd. Insert either center or left winger. We're still looking all right, boys. Don't fear. I was thinking this roster looked a little barren, but we're gonna free up $2.5 million with Brennan Othman. I'm gonna do that right now. Actually, he could be a good 4th line player, but for $2.5 million, I don't think so. So Brennan Othman, what can we get for ya? He didn't play too much last year. We can get a 6th round pick. We can get a 7th round pick. I'll take the 6th if anybody else is willing to offer me it. Anybody from the East willing to give it to me? No. Anaheim? Do we want to give Brennan Othman to Anaheim? Probably not, huh? Will Boston give me a 6th round pick for him? What do you say, Boston? 6th round pick for Brennan Othman? Accepted. Done deal. Thank you very much. Remember, boys, we also have Jesper Wallsted's contract we could get out of here, right? He's 84 overall. What are teams willing to give me for him? A 4th and a 5th, a 4th and a 5th. Some players, but I don't want salary. A 4th and a player. Okay, basically a 4th and a 5th for him, so... equivalent to like a 3rd, maybe a low 2nd, depending. Let's take a look at free agents, see who's out here. We need a 2nd line, either center or left winger. There are some big names, a lot of RFAs. Look at how many boys. Oh my, oh dude, I'm going crazy. Cam Arson, playmaker. 85 face-offs. We could take somebody else from San Jose, bro. We could take another one from San Jose. Another one. We could take him again. We could go 1 year, 7.2 mil from San Jose and steal them from their clutches, man. Oh my gosh. Okay, we don't know their salary or anything like that. First of all, let's see if there's any fixes for the UFAs. And hang on a second. UFA, medium elite, grinder, 90. Look at the defense. Look at the defense. Oh, how many penalty minutes do you take? 78. Okay, that's kind of a lot actually. And you don't really score that much. How much time are you getting? How much time? Okay, this was a pipe dream. This was a pipe dream. That's not going to happen. 50 points on the first line. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm very sorry. You look great, but not going to happen. We could go Braden Point for a year, but that's a little crazy, you know? Could bring Zach Werenski back if we want to. Oh, my good buddy, Alex DeBrincat, left winger, sniper. Hang on, Alex DeBrincat. What are you doing out here, bud? 64 points, 74 points, 67. So you're like a 60-point guy. That's pretty good. Oh, but you're playing 1st line time in Detroit. You're going to be playing 2nd line time here. You're probably going to be playing 2nd power play if you even play it. You're kind of old. Nabokov. Dmitry Nabokov. Good defense. What are you a point producer? Not really. 40 points. No, okay. I don't really see much I like here in the offensive category. We could go Tervanen. Tommy Tervanen. We could take him back from now. He's a Nashville player, isn't he? Nobody's interested. What do you want? What do you want for 6 years, Tommy? 6 years, 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year? Okay, so we can't like cheese it and go 1 year like 8 mil. Also, yeah, that's way too much. So we really need somebody in like the $5-ish million range. Yeah, so we can't even really go crazy, huh? Maybe like Brisson. Brisson, 2-way forward, 84 overall. Vasily Podkolzin. Brisson. What's Brendan Brisson? 2-way forward. More of a play, or more of a winger. Maybe 50 points this year with San Jose. He was probably playing top pair, or no, top time. No, he wasn't actually. 15 minutes. Okay. 50-point guy. He scored 50 before in his career as well. Kind of like 40, 50-point guy playing 2nd line minutes, roughly. 3rd line minutes even. So maybe Brisson could be the guy. And he hits a lot. He has 131 hits for somebody who's 5'11". That could be pretty good. Though we don't need that on the 2nd line. We need somebody who's going to score. Maybe a Kevin Fiala. Kevin Fiala, 58 points. Although he's 36, probably will be his last year. And last year he didn't do... Actually, he still did pretty good if we take his trades into account. Playing 1st line time. I don't know, man. Boys, I found my target. It's pretty simple. He's a low elite player. He's a UFA. He's a sniper. Look at his shooting category. All right, I don't care that he's only put up like 54 points. He's a 50-point guy. It's actually pretty good. Look at his shooting category. 5-star shooting, 5-star census. Even his defense is not horrible. 88 defensive awareness. Now, face-offs and shot blocking, that's weak. He's a right winger, but he's a left-handed shot, so we can play him on the left side. Look at the shooting. 97 accuracy, 96 accuracy, and 92 shot power. I'm going to give this guy a contract. I can go 2 years, and he wants only 5 mil. So we go 2 years, and nobody's offering him a contract either, so we don't have to worry about that. So I go 2 years. Maybe somebody will come in and swoop him away, but this is a low-risk, high-reward player. 2 years, 5 mil to play second-line time. That could also be third-line time. Think about a guy like Philip Tomasino. 5-star shooting. He can be on the first-line power play. What do you say to it? We still then have 3 mil to sign some defensemen, and we got to trade away Jesper Wallstedt. So what do you say? Stefan Backlund, 2 years, $5 million. Now, looking at goalies here, I think the guy we go with right now, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, he's 34, but he only wants league minimum, so we'll give you that, my friend. We'll give you 2 years. We'll give you exactly what you're asking for. Actually, we'll give you a little bit more even. So sign on board. We'd love to have you here. And actually, didn't we have Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen before for like a couple of games? No, we didn't. Okay, never mind. I thought we did, but I guess we did not. And then look at this, man. Defensemen are so expensive. I can't get a defenseman for less than like $3 million out here. Okay, never mind. I can't. Zach Jones, offensive defenseman. His defensive stats are not that bad even. He's pretty base everywhere, and he only wants 1 year, 1 mil. I think we can offer him that. It's basically a two-way deal, and it pretty much means that he's going to be depth for us, and that's exactly the kind of offer that we're looking for. So 1 year, $925K, and I think that's all the moves that I have to make. All right, boys, actually, one more thing we have to do is we got to say goodbye to Jesper Wallstedt. He's dropped now to an 84 overall, and he was pretty inconsistent with us. Granted, he's got 2 rings, so we will gladly take that, and we loved having him on the team. He played 70 games this year and had 41 wins, so he will be missed, but his numbers were not that insane, and as an 86 overall, let alone what he's going to produce for us as an 84 overall. He was pretty inconsistent, so we're going to go with some cheaper goalies to hopefully give us a fairly similar ride here. And if things don't work out, we can always look for another goalie in a trade or anything else like that. So what do you say, Columbus? The reason why he's going to Columbus, by the way, guys, is because sorting by overall, they do not have a goalie for the NHL. Now, they have a couple of medium elite level goalies in their system, but they have nobody to play in the NHL right now. Even if they wanted to play this guy, Harold Simon, in the NHL, he's never played a single NHL game, so he's going to need a veteran to come up and teach him the ropes, show him, the travel schedule, things like this, walk him through everything, right? Just to be a bit of a mentor for him. They also have $50 million of salary cap, so it makes sense. And then they don't have to be forced to play 71 overall medium elite Grigorenko in the NHL as well. These two as a tandem would not be good, but Simon and Wallstedt makes a little bit more sense to them. So what do you say for a third and a seventh? I can't get a second from it because the value for Wallstedt is just not there. I don't even know if we'll be able to get this, but what do you say? It's for next year's draft, so not this. I guess it's for 2 years from now's draft. So what do you say? Columbus rejected, too far off without the seventh. What do you say? Accepted. Oh yeah, this is a happy proposal. We considered a done deal. Thank you very much, Wallstedt, for all you have brought to Winnipeg, and now we have some money to work with, and I've got 1 or I guess 2 more moves to make. All right, guys, the next person we're going to get for the team, because we need a third-line left winger and a fourth-line left winger. So I'm going to go with Wade Stanton here. He's 6'2". He's a left wing. He can also play the right side. He needs a playmaker. And look at these stats. So some of the stats look pretty rough. Like his skating is rough, his physical is rough, and his shooting is rough. But he has 5-star puck skills, 4.5-star senses. This guy could be a dangerous offensive threat, and he could really help out Quenneville, who's probably going to be playing on that third line this year. And he can also help out Shane Pinto to get a little bit more offense in there. So I think Wade Stanton will be a sneaky good add to the team. We can go like 1 year to see if it works out for him at like $3.45 million. And I want to hear what he has to say to that. Now for the fourth line, I'm going to go with this guy, 23-year-old power forward, medium top 9. Has he ever played in the NHL? He's played 1 full season in the NHL where he played, 7 minutes a night? Okay, so he's going to be playing a little more with us. He might be able to play some penalty kill time, maybe, but probably not actually. He's pretty physical. He's a power forward, 80 overall. He's 6'2". Colby Stoll here. And I think he makes the most sense, so let's offer him a contract. We can go 1 year, keep him as an RFA. Actually, 2 years even has him as an RFA as well. So we'll go 2 years, $1.8 million for Colby Stoll to play on our fourth line with the grinder Rocky Bomick. So that's all the moves for free agency here, boys. And now it is time to simulate and see if these guys decide to sign on or if they want to not. The one I'm really interested in is that sniper for the second line who's like an 83 overall. I forget what his name is already, but I am interested in him. So Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen is on board. That's good because that's going to help out our goaltending tandem. Next up here, let's see, Zach Jones is on board, so he can be our sixth defenseman. Good, good. Colby Stoll is on board as our fourth line left winger. Let's keep it going here. Stefan Backlund, nice. 2 years, $5 million. Took a bit of a discount with us, and we love to see that. Right winger, but he's probably going to play the left because he shoots left. Nice to see Stefan Backlund. And then Wade Stanton to play the third line. And that is everything, boys. Now, if we take a look at the roster here, we are looking pretty strong, I think, for next season. We're not the same type of team that we were when we won the cup last year, but let's just take a look. So we've got Eklund, Kennedy, Svensson for our first line. We have Patrick, Backlund, and Eric Dowd for our second line. So Elliot Patrick will be shouldering that center position. Then we have Shane Pinto with Wade Stanton and likely Quenneville. Where is he here? Yeah, this guy right here, Howard Quenneville. I don't know. I keep saying Henry. Howard Quenneville. And then the fourth line of Wyatt Johnston, Colby Stoll, and Rocky Bomick. So the forwards are all set. Defensively now, we've got Will Hoffman, Corbin Mills, Owen Power, Aiden Stempniak, Zach Jones, and of course Stefan Kreitzer, who will be in the lineup. And then in goal, we've got Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Artur Silov. So I think that is all for the NHL roster. All right, boys, so now we have to decide who is going to be the captain of this team now that Cole Perfetti is gone here in a trade. So we got to figure out who we want as our captain for this season. First of all, though, we got to assign some alternates. So the first alternate is going to go to a guy who we drafted. He was drafted very, very late, but he has blossomed into an absolute star, and it's going to be Mats Svensson. This guy has put up 99 points season before. He's usually in the 90s, so let's hope he can carry that on with the A on his chest. Next up, I think we gotta go to, I don't know exactly who it should be. There's a couple of candidates I'm thinking about for the secondary alternate, but I think I am leaning more towards number 68, Elliot. No, we gotta go number 69, Sam Kennedy. Didn't mean to fake you out there, Elliot. I'm sorry. I hope you forgive me, but we're gonna go with Sam Kennedy here for the roster. And then finally, who will be the captain that leads us into the next stage of our development? And I think this answer is pretty obvious here. This guy joined the team a couple of years ago via a trade, and he is been very instrumental in our playoff pushes. Corbin Mills, give it up for him. He had a career year last year. Let's hope he carries that forward. All right, ladies and gents, these are going to be the lines for year number 11 here. We've got Eklund, Svensson, and Sam Kennedy on that first line, so the same line that we've had for the last 2 seasons now. Second line looking a little bit different here. Elliot Patrick still the staple in there. He's going to play center for us, 76 faceoffs. He can do it. And he's on his right, he's going to have Eric Dowd, and on his left, the newbie in town, Stefan Backlund. This guy's shooting is absolutely absurd. Hopefully, he can be a better Melvin Barker type player and maybe grow a little bit here on Elliot Patrick's left. Third line now, we're going to have Wade Stanton, the pure playmaker, 93 passing, 91 offensive awareness, no shot to save his life, but that's okay. Shane Pinto's going to be in the center as he has been for the past 4 or 5 seasons. And then a new guy to the team, Howard Quenneville, sniper. He lit up the Liga or SHL or wherever he was last year. 53 points in 49 games playing against grown men. So let's hope that he can do that once again here in the NHL this time. And then the fourth line looks pretty new. Well, actually, not that new. Wyatt Johnston with Rocky Bomick. These two guys staying here. Rocky Bomick is now up to an 80 overall. And then Colby Stoll here, the power forward that we signed in free agency for that fourth line, bringing a little bit of rough and toughness down there in the fourth line. Going towards defense now, this looks pretty similar to what it did last year. We've got Aiden Stempniak with Corbin Mills. These two guys are not being split up for how many years is Corbin Mills on this roster? 5 more years for Corbin Mills and what, 8 more years for Aiden Stempniak? These two guys are here to stay. Then second line, Owen Power and Will Hoffman. That's got to be one of the best second lines in the NHL. And then unfortunately, Zach Jones and Stefan Kreitzer gives us a -3, but it might be a glitch. It might be one of those where you come out, it's actually just a 0 really, but we shall see. And then in goal, we've got Artur Silovs and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. So, boys, that's what the team is looking like. Let me know what you think. Let me know what the lines should be. Let me know what you thought about the moves that we made in this one. Obviously, the team looks a little bit weaker with no Cole Perfetti in there, but we had to do it in order to keep Sam Kennedy and, these other guys like Aiden Stempniak and all these other guys. So it was a necessary evil. We still wish Cole all the best out there in Pittsburgh. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. So, boys, I hope you guys enjoyed the moves that I made. Give this video a like if you liked it, comment to the channel, and subscribe if you haven't already. New videos come out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and sometimes on Sundays as well if I'm feeling a little frisky. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Peace out.